This video won't just hand you a to-do list. It's a sequence of instructions designed to rebuild your inner life, step by step, until you can feel like yourself again. Not the version of you that performs, survives, or stays busy, but the real you. The one who still has access to meaning, to aliveness, to that forgotten joy. It may feel uncomfortable at first, because Jung's whispers aren't always soothing. Sometimes they interrupt you, sometimes they shake you. But those tremors are often the first signs of waking up. When you finish this video, you won't be the exact same person you were when you started. I'm not saying that for drama. I'm saying it because this kind of inner work changes the structure of your life from the inside out. So take a slow breath, let your shoulders drop, quiet the noise for a moment, and open the doors of your attention. Because what I'm about to share isn't meant only for your mind. It's meant to reach your psyche, your deeper center, the place where your real power and your real potential have been waiting. If you genuinely want your life to change within 1 year, the first and most critical step is also the one most people avoid. You face the part of you you've been hiding, your shadow. The shadow is everything you dislike in others, everything you feel ashamed to see in yourself, everything you deny or pretend you don't have. Jealousy, anger, laziness, selfishness, fear, cowardice, obsession. The list goes on. Most of us lock these parts in a mental chest, cover it, and act like it isn't there. We curate an image, we build a good self, and we try to live from that. But Jung warns us that what we refuse to see does not disappear. It returns, as patterns, as repeated pain, as the same relationships, the same triggers, the same cycles, just wearing different faces. Jung said, "Everything that is pushed into the unconscious comes back to us as fate." So, if you keep ignoring your shadow will keep writing your life for you. The first 3 months. Months 1, 2, and 3. Shadow work, the courage to see. Here is your instruction for the first 3 months. It is simple, yet it demands bravery. Start observing your shadow, not to judge it, not to fix yourself in a harsh way, but to see what's true. Begin journaling. Keep it private, keep it honest. Ask yourself, when do I get angry, really angry? What kinds of people trigger me immediately? What do I criticize in others the most? Could the thing I hate in them be something I've disowned in myself? What do I secretly envy? What parts of me feel too much, not enough, unacceptable, or dangerous? What dreams or desires did I bury because I told myself they were stupid, unrealistic, embarrassing, or impossible? And pay close attention to your dreams. For Jung, dreams are not random noise. They are messages from the unconscious, symbolic, emotional, precise in their own language. The dark figures in dreams, the disturbing scenes, the unsettling symbols, they often carry the voice of the shadow. In these first 3 months, your goal is honesty. This is the season of removing masks. This is the season of seeing yourself without the usual excuses and stories. You are not trying to become perfect. You are trying to become whole. And yes, this can feel like a purification, like a cleansing, like emotional debris rising to the surface. But when this first phase ends, something surprising happens. You feel lighter. You feel less haunted by invisible pressure. You feel more real, because a huge amount of your energy has been spent on hiding from yourself. And when you stop running, that energy returns. The second 3 months. Months 4, 5, and 6. Anima and Animus. Integrating your inner opposites. Once you complete your first dance with the shadow, you move into a deeper, more mysterious corner of the psyche, what Jung called the Anima and the Animus. Your instruction for months 4, 5, and 6 is this: make peace with the opposite energy within you and integrate it. This isn't about stereotypes. It isn't about acting masculine or acting feminine in some outdated way. It's about wholeness. It's about developing the parts of you that your personality has neglected. For many men, connecting with the anima means exploring emotional depth, intuition, creativity, tenderness, and relational sensitivity without shame. For many women, connecting with the animus means strengthening inner authority, clear thinking, boundaries, decisiveness, independence, and confident action without guilt. How do you do it? Again, your dreams will guide you. Pay attention to the opposite sex figures in your dreams. Notice how they behave. Notice what they say. Notice how they make you feel. They often represent the anima or animus, an inner force asking to be recognized, and then bring it into daily life through small experiments. If you're someone who lives almost entirely through logic, try listening to what you feel before you explain it away. Spend time with music, art, writing, nature. Let intuition have a seat at the table. If you're someone who constantly adapts to others, practice choosing. Practice saying no. Practice making decisions without needing permission. Solve problems. Take up space. Act from your own center. Do activities that ask you to hold two truths at once. Be strong and gentle. Be rational and intuitive. Be grounded and open. This is the art of balance, and balance makes you resilient. As you integrate these inner opposites, you become more flexible, more emotionally stable, and more authentic. You'll notice fewer inner battles, less self-sabotage, and deeper connections in your relationships, because you are no longer split against yourself. By the end of month 6, you should feel more whole, more balanced, and stronger, not in an aggressive way, but in a rooted way. The third 3 months, months 7, 8, and 9. Archetypes and the collective unconscious, reading your life as a myth. Now you enter one of Jung's most fascinating realms, the collective unconscious and its universal patterns, archetypes. Your instruction for months 7, 8, and 9 is this: start reading your life story through the lens of universal archetypes. Because your pain is personal, but it is also human. Your struggles may feel isolating, but they are often variations of ancient patterns that have existed for thousands of years. How do you do this? You immerse yourself in stories, read myths, read fairy tales, explore legends, watch films that stay with you. Notice the characters that move you, disturb you, inspire you, or haunt you. Ask, which character feels familiar to my life right now? What part of me is the hero, the orphan, the caregiver, the rebel, the lover, the ruler, the seeker? What repeating theme keeps showing up in my story? What chapter am I stuck in? Continue dream analysis. Try to understand what archetypal energies appear in your dreams. A wise old figure may represent your inner wisdom. A child may represent a fragile but vital part of your potential. A storm may represent emotional transformation. A locked house may represent a part of your psyche you haven't entered yet. And spend time in nature. Jung believed nature is also filled with symbolic language, trees, rivers, mountains, oceans. Not because nature is magical, but because your psyche recognizes itself in patterns. This phase does something powerful. It gives your suffering meaning. You begin to realize you are not alone, that people across history have faced versions of what you are facing now, that your personal pain is also part of a larger human story. And when you experience your life as meaningful, your inner joy starts to return, not as shallow happiness, but as a steady current. By the end of month 9, you may feel more connected, more wise, and able to see your life events with a deeper perspective. The final 3 months, months 10, 11, and 12. Individuation, meeting the self. Now you arrive at the final quarter of your 1-year inner journey, months 10, 11, and 12. You faced your shadow. You began integrating your inner opposites. You started hearing the archetypal language of the psyche. Now your instruction is the summit of Jung's individuation process. Move toward the self, not the ego, not the persona. The self, the central organizing intelligence of your psyche, the deeper core that knows what your life is meant to become. How do you do this? You begin active imagination. Active imagination means consciously engaging the images, figures, and symbols that rise from your unconscious, like entering a dialogue with your inner world. Here's a simple way to start. Sit somewhere quiet. Close your eyes. Let your breathing slow down. Invite an image to appear without forcing it. It may be a place, a figure, a symbol, a mood. When it appears, don't just watch it like a movie. Interact with it. Ask it questions. Listen for answers, not as literal facts, but as emotional truth. What do you want from me? What are you protecting? What am I refusing to feel? What do I need to understand? This is not fantasy for entertainment. This is inner dialogue. A conversation with the parts of you that have been speaking through dreams and symptoms and patterns for years. Deepen your meditation and mindfulness, not to silence your mind, but to connect with the quiet intelligence beneath the mind. These final 3 months are like harvest season. You begin to gather the results of what you've been practicing. The emptiness starts to fill, not with constant pleasure, but with purpose. Meaning replaces numbness. Joy stops being a temporary emotion and becomes a stable state of being. A joy that doesn't depend on perfect circumstances, whether it's rainy or sunny, whether you feel surrounded or alone, whether you have more money or less. This joy stays because it rises from your essence, not your environment. And you start to feel less like a programmed machine, reacting, coping, performing, and more like a living human being, creating, choosing, expressing, loving, connecting. This is the deepest transformation, becoming yourself, truly yourself. So let's bring it all together. Lower your masks. Do not fear the darker corners of your psyche, the suppressed emotions, the denied traits, the parts you've been taught to hate. Accept your shadow because only what you accept can transform. Remember, the shadow isn't only darkness, it's also the storage room of your unlived potential. Integrate your opposites, logic and intuition, strength and sensitivity, action and receptivity. Find balance. Wholeness creates inner harmony, and inner harmony is the foundation of lasting joy. And find what gives your life meaning. Jung believed that one of the greatest illnesses of modern life is meaninglessness. Chasing pleasure can give short bursts of satisfaction, but real joy emerges when your life has direction, purpose, and depth. Not just living for yourself, but serving something larger than your ego. Pay attention to your dreams, your symbols, your meaningful coincidences, the patterns that repeat. They are not proof of anything supernatural. They are the psyche speaking its language. And when you learn that language, you gain inner guidance. Uncertainty decreases. You stop feeling lost. You start feeling led by something wise inside you. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Be patient. Be kind to yourself. Every step matters. Every insight is valuable. If you fall, stand up again. Falling is part of learning. Inner transformation requires courage. It means stepping into the unknown, leaving the comfort zone, and facing what you've avoided. but the reward is priceless, real freedom, and a joy that doesn't collapse the moment life gets difficult. Don't just collect knowledge in your mind, apply it. Let your inner discoveries change your outer choices. Create, express, love, connect, live. Experience the full range of life with honesty and depth. So I'm telling you, don't waste time. Don't postpone your life. Every day is already part of that 1 year. You can spend it in emptiness, meaninglessness, numbness, or you can live it with intention, clarity, and courage. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to these words. Thank you for giving yourself this chance. Because this could be a turning point, not just in what you do, but in who you become. And when one person wakes up, it ripples outward. When one person finds meaning, it inspires others. When one person becomes more whole, the world becomes a little more alive. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself 1 year from now. Standing taller, eyes clearer, smile more genuine, steps more steady. A version of you carrying calm strength, wisdom, quiet joy. This isn't a fantasy, this is your potential. So what are you waiting for? The instructions are simple. Listen, feel, face, explore, create, live. Take one small step every day. Write down one dream. Name one shadow pattern. Choose one courageous action. Tell yourself the truth. Treat yourself with compassion. And most of all, trust the journey. Because the greatest adventure of your life has always been the one happening inside you. And remember, this is only the beginning. 1 year is a powerful container for transformation, but real growth never truly ends. Like a river moving toward the ocean, you will keep flowing, changing, deepening. As Carl Jung taught, look within. Everything is there, including the joy and meaning you've been searching for. If this spoke to something in you, if you're ready to take this journey, support the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Quiet Psychology. Because here, we explore Carl Jung's psychology together, one step at a time. I'll see you in the next video. Stay with the light of your own psyche.